Well, hello folks, it's Cliff here from Down Under. Welcome to my channel ThreadExpress. And exciting news for ThreadExpress. ThreadExpress is finally leaving the railway station. First off, I'll just run half of a short montage of clips showing you what ThreadExpress can do. And we've got our skewed scallops. It's a little thumb grip. I'll show it to you in its application in a minute. So all of these tests are coming out really well. Machining hexagon nuts with threads. Can machine bolts all in the one setting, the thread and the hexagon. And from the previous video, tests such as machining a very small, slender 3mm screw that's less than 1/8 of an inch with thread milling, much lighter machining loads than you get with screw cutting. Larger parts that are made out of 4140, a much bigger part here. Okay, if ThreadExpress is new to you, let's have a quick look at it. So I'll just take this guard off. So ThreadExpress is an indexing head, like a dividing head, that rotates the work, but it also has a pitch generating mechanism inside it. And you can set the pitch to cut spirals or helixes just with one single adjusting nut. You loosen the nut, slide it to the pitch that you want on the graduated scales here, tighten it up, and it's ready to go as quick as that to cut any pitch thread within its range of less than 10 threads per inch up to 64 threads per inch in inch, or over 2.5 millimeters to down to 0.4 of a millimeter pitch in metric. So it's just as simple as that, one adjustment and you can cut any thread. It stays engaged, you can't lose your position on the thread. You can cut winding it up or down. And you can also index it to cut hexagons and squares and knurls and things via this little indexing mechanism on the end. So that's basically what it is, an attachment for a milling machine to cut threads and index. Okay, well, let's start from the beginning with a brief history of ThreadExpress. So going back to 2009, I was running a contract tool making business, and I didn't have a lot of spare time, but one night I had some crazy dreams about a pitch generating mechanism, repeated dreams, and when I woke up in the morning I sketched it out. And to cut a long story short, I thought I have to make a prototype of this mechanism, because it would be such a simple way to generate all different types of threads very simply. And I couldn't find anywhere on the internet that showed the mechanism had ever been used before, so I thought I have to build a prototype. But I didn't have much time then. I was running a tool making business, and I didn't have CAD, Parasolid modeling CAD. I just had basic BobCAD CAM. So I sketched up the components and did some drawings on the drawing board, and in my spare time very quickly put together the prototype of ThreadExpress, if you like, version 1. And it worked really well. I trialed it and I was really amazed how well it worked, and really amazed that nobody had ever thought of this pitch generating mechanism before, as far as I could see anyway. So I had it in the form of a completely independent portable thread cutting machine at the time. The idea was that it could just be carted around and used to cut threads anywhere very conveniently. But I'm not much of a salesman. I don't have much patience for business. I'm more of a hands-on, creative type of person. And I ran out of energy very quickly and just put it to one side. And so it's sort of been in mothballs for many years. And a year or so ago, I had the idea that, well, maybe it would have more appeal if I were to modify it and make it into an attachment to go on a milling machine. So then I went about making some new parts and modifying it. We call this version 2, ThreadExpress as a milling machine attachment. And I started making videos of version 2, and I made some improvements. I put on some indexing, resettable dials, and various little refinements. Version 2.1, more videos, version 2.2. So if you're interested in that, have a look at those videos. They're just there on my YouTube channel, ThreadExpress. And I started getting really encouraging messages from people that were watching the videos. That really helped spur me along. So keep that up, guys. Quite a few people wanted plans to build their own. I was also thinking maybe I could sell it to a manufacturer who would pick it up and mass produce them, and then they would be available at low cost to everyone around the world. So I wasn't really sure what the end destination would be for ThreadExpress, but I kind of knew that it was such a useful tool that it was worth persevering with. But anyway, I again tried to find some buyers, and again just ran out of energy on that salesman front. So I was sort of stalled for a while, thinking, how can I move this forward? I could produce plans, but that's problematic for me because I only had Bobcat Cam, and that's not really good at parasolid modeling assemblies and producing technical drawings and plans and so on. I would have to buy new CAD software and spend a lot of time on it. I don't have a lot of time available for that type of thing. I'm still running a business making Hallmark products, probes and the like, and doing contract tool making, still here in New Zealand for local industry. So I was a bit stalled at this point. Well, then I got to know Mark Presling, Presso as he's known. He's an experienced machinist, engineer, and experienced CAD designer, and he has his own YouTube channel. Well, that's the perfect skill set combination to fit in with this project. And we started talking together through comments and then email and phone call, and realized that we would be really compatible for a collaboration to move this project forward together. I could give him all of my sketches and drawing board drawings, and he could model them up with his software and produce parasolid models of all the parts, and then at the tail end of it spit out as many technical drawings and plans as we need. So this just sounded really perfect. So he's been going now for a little while doing the solid modeling, and he has begun his build. You can hop over to his channel and have a look at him building his own ThreadExpress version 3. It's a more refined version. This is just a prototype, as I explained. It's been knocked together and hacked around in a couple of stages, but version 3 is a more refined version that we need for the plans. So I'll put a link in the description below so you can jump across to his channel, have a look at his videos. He covers lots of interesting subjects, and also he will have the build series for ThreadExpress. If you're not familiar with Mark Presling's channel, he's from down under also, a very similar accent to mine, but he's from Australia, I'm from New Zealand. Well, here is Mark Presling's channel. He has a lot of videos, 267 videos covering a big range of builds. That's his playlist page there. All sorts of subjects covered. One of the components he'll be making by making patterns and casting them out of aluminium and machining them up and so on. But I imagine most people building their version of ThreadExpress will just want to source aluminium, for example 6061 aluminium plate from for example a laser cutter who cuts aluminium stock and ships it out. I know in the States they've got some pretty competitive suppliers that you can contact with some drawings, and they'll cut the parts out and ship them off to you for a pretty good price. So I know there's a lot of intrigue as to how the pitch generating mechanism works. We had a bit of a competition, a challenge a few videos ago, and viewers have posted in how they think it works. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. Soon I'll be able to reveal who the people were that got the closest to guessing it. A couple of people look like they got pretty close. So what we're thinking of doing is during Mark Presling's build series, he will more and more reveal how that pitch generating mechanism works. And if we watch the series, we'll be able to figure it out as he goes. And this will make it more intriguing, more appealing, and will help to promote the product. So don't worry, towards the end we will reveal how it works, and I'll make sure that those viewers who commented the correct guess will be mentioned as well. I'm very conscious that it's a huge world. The market for hobbyists that want ThreadExpress and businesses that want ThreadExpress is absolutely huge, and so far it's probably only reached 0.1 of 1%. And Mark Presling's channel is going to help with that. We've got another YouTuber that's going to do a video, build their own, and I'm hoping there'll be other YouTubers out there that want the plans and want to do a build series as well. If we can get really good saturation and awareness of this product out there, it'll really help justify putting in the effort to get plans or to find a manufacturer to produce these at a reasonable price. I think the most likely outcome will be that plans will become available. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys want one of these to help with that promotion. You can help by hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel or Mark Presling's channel, and this all helps to promote the product. Let me know in the comments of any suggestions or thoughts or questions that you have. And if you know of a YouTuber that might be interested in building their own one of these, could you contact them directly rather than just suggest the YouTuber to me, and then they could contact either me or Mark Presling, and we can let them have the plans early so they can build an example as well. Particular job illustrates the advantages of thread milling for this type of application, where you need a very accurate pitch over a long length, where you need to get right down to the shoulder so the cutter can swing around really close there, and you don't want to have an undercut for screw cutting because that will weaken it and reduce the length of the thread. And where you want to machine it in a high tensile steel, this is high tensile steel. And you can see the cutter there is just shy of the base. Set the unit to the correct pitch thread, juggle the cutter in to the existing thread until you're just touching on the gullet of the thread like that, and then just wind it on and extend the thread as far as you want to go. And tungsten carbide fly cutter, for example, will very easily cut high tensile steel bolt. But you try doing that with a die, even a high-speed steel die. It's a massive task. They're expensive, and you'll chip the teeth of the die after a couple of bolts and very quickly destroy your threading die. After the build, it will most likely become available in the form of technical drawings and CAD files for viewers to build. Of course, it's possible that a supplier manufacturer will emerge who wishes to buy the design, but I think it'll also be in our interests if that happens, because if it's mass produced and available for purchase, well, if that happens, then we should be able to purchase a complete unit for a fairly good price, and hopefully it won't even affect the release of plans anyway. But I think the most likely outcome will be that after Presso's series of videos, and possibly one or two other YouTubers who want to do a similar thing, there will be a clear demand and we'll be able to supply plans and drawings. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be continuing to produce videos for you to watch soon. Cheers.